Beloved chosen one, pause and listen. The noise around you has faded for a reason. Heaven has silenced the world to deliver this moment straight into your spirit. This is not coincidence, it is orchestration. The Eternal has pressed pause on your surroundings so you could finally hear what's been written over you since the beginning. You are chosen. Every strange delay, every painful detour, every sleepless night was not a mistake. Heaven was shaping you in hidden places where no one applauded, where no spotlight reached. You thought you were forgotten, but in truth, you were being formed. When God hides you, it is never rejection, it is protection. You've carried battles that few could see, but your endurance has not gone unnoticed. The very weight you carried has been the evidence of your anointing. Heaven watches how you respond when it looks like nothing is moving, because only those who can trust God in silence are ready for His sound of sudden breakthrough. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Let those words settle deep within you. You were never meant to blend in. The spotlight of heaven has always been waiting for this appointed hour, and that hour is approaching fast. What's coming on Friday will not be subtle, it will reveal what heaven placed inside you long ago. You can sense the shift, can't you? The air feels charged, the timing feels strange. Doors that once resisted are now trembling. People who left your life are being replaced by divine connections. Everything is aligning according to a plan you can't yet see but can already feel. Beloved, do not mistake the tension for punishment. The pressure you feel right now is the final tightening before release. Heaven often tests before it trusts. The world may not understand you, but heaven recognizes your signature. You have been assigned to carry light into dark places, to speak when others fall silent, to stand when others bow to fear. This is why you couldn't quit even when you tried. This is why the weight of destiny refused to leave your heart. Because you were never built for ordinary living, you were designed for divine interruption. Friday is not just a date on a calendar, it is a spiritual appointment set in motion long before you were born. So breathe. Rest your soul in the knowledge that heaven is closer than it seems. Every hidden seed of obedience is about to bloom. The signs around you, repeating numbers, prophetic dreams, unusual encounters, these are confirmations, not coincidences. When the moment comes, it will not require your effort, it will require your faith. The same God who called your name in silence will announce it in power. Heaven is not asking you to strive, it's asking you to stand. If this message resonates with your spirit, don't scroll past it. Like, share, and comment your prophetic number 777 below to declare I will shine in God's timing. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you never miss the voice that heaven sends to remind you who you are. Chosen one, heaven is stirring the winds around your destiny. What once seemed silent will soon thunder with divine confirmation. Hold your ground. Friday's unveiling carries the proof that your waiting was never wasted. This is your moment to rise, to believe again, to stand in full authority. The same light that once hid in shadows will now blaze openly through you, unstoppable, undeniable, divinely timed. Chosen one, before time began, before the stars were hung in the blackness of the heavens. Your name was already written in the scrolls of eternity. You were not an afterthought. You were not a reaction to the chaos of the world. You were a design, deliberate, intentional, and anointed. Heaven did not improvise your existence. It planned it with precision. Every detail of your life, every breath you take, has been part of a divine blueprint written long before your first heartbeat. You have felt the pull of destiny since childhood, haven't you? That quiet sense that you were different. The inability to fit in. The restlessness when others seemed content. You were never meant to blend in with the background. The unease you've carried was not brokenness, it was calling. Heaven has been whispering to your soul all along, there is more. You've walked through seasons that made no sense, through pain that carved deep lines into your heart. But each wound became an entry point for grace. The fire you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. The divine craftsman refines his chosen vessels in the furnace of affliction because gold cannot be shaped without heat. The Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 4, "For he chose us in him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in his sight." Think about that. Before galaxies swirled into form, before oceans found their borders, heaven had already marked you. Nothing that has happened in your life has ever taken God by surprise. Even your mistakes have been woven into redemption's pattern. The enemy tried to use your scars as evidence against you, but heaven has turned them into credentials, proof that you survived what others could not. When you doubted your worth, heaven did not. When you questioned your purpose, the scrolls still bore your name. You have been carried by unseen hands through valleys you never understood. Because your assignment is weighty and your purpose is generational. Chosen one, understand this destiny does not begin when the world recognizes you. It begins when heaven ordains you. Your calling existed before your birth, and it cannot be revoked by man, mistake, or misstep. Every disappointment has been a disguised appointment. Every closed door redirected you toward the corridor of divine timing. Look at your journey, how often the enemy tried to silence you. Yet you kept rising. You have faced rejection that would have crushed ordinary souls. But you are not ordinary. You carry ancient purpose in modern skin. Heaven has invested too much in you to let you fail now. The world may not remember your name yet, but heaven already does. And soon, what was hidden will emerge with undeniable clarity. You will understand why certain people left, why certain opportunities slipped away, and why the waiting felt endless. It was never delay, it was calibration. In this silence, God has been rehearsing your unveiling. The battles you fought in secret were never unseen. Angels recorded every moment of endurance, every prayer whispered through tears. You are not behind schedule. You are precisely on time. Chosen one, breathe deeply. You were marked before time, and the same voice that spoke galaxies into motion now speaks over you. Rise. You were chosen long before you ever knew his name. The ink of eternity still glows upon your soul, reminding you that nothing can erase what heaven has written. Your purpose is eternal, unstoppable, alive, chosen one. Have you ever wondered why your path had to be so difficult? Why you had to learn endurance through heartbreak and patience through isolation? It was never random. Heaven was sculpting the strength of a warrior inside a vessel of grace. Every disappointment was training your discernment. Every closed door was God's hand steering you away from imitation toward authenticity. You've been in a divine classroom without realizing it. Each storm, each betrayal, each lonely night was a lesson, heaven's curriculum for the anointed. The pain wasn't punishment, it was preparation. What others see as brokenness, heaven calls construction. The foundations of your purpose were being laid in secret, and now those who misunderstood your silence will soon witness your rising. According to what is revealed in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That verse is your mirror. You didn't just survive, you matured under fire. You became the kind of soul that can be trusted with glory. You learned to worship with tears running down your face. You learned to believe even when every visible sign said, "Give up." Heaven took note of that. Angels recorded your endurance like sacred poetry written on eternal scrolls. And now, chosen one, you are standing on the edge of unveiling. The training season is nearing its conclusion. The breaking, the stretching, the waiting, all of it has been leading to the revealing. What was once confusing will soon make sense in a single moment of divine clarity. Your spirit has grown sharper. You can now recognize what is divine and what is distraction. You have learned to discern the counterfeit blessings that only mimic purpose. Heaven needed you to become unshakable, and now you are. The very pressure that tried to crush you only revealed what you were made of. You are stepping into a new frequency of understanding. The lessons you learned in tears will soon become the wisdom you teach in triumph. What once hurt you will help others heal. You are becoming a voice for those still trapped in the same darkness you escaped. Chosen one, understand this: you have not been delayed, you have been developed. Heaven never wastes a wound. The oil that flows from your life now carries fragrance because it was crushed through surrender. The greater the pressure, the purer the oil. And you, beloved, are about to overflow too. The Spirit whispers even now, do not resent your process. It made you who you are. What's coming on Friday will prove that nothing was wasted. Every lesson, every pain, every tear has prepared you for divine recognition. Type "I received this" in the comments. This is not just a reaction, it's a declaration that you understand the shaping was sacred. When you write it, you are saying to heaven, I will no longer curse the process that crowned me. Because you, chosen one, are proof that endurance births glory. When you comment "I received this," you are not typing empty words, you are sealing agreement with heaven's plan. You're declaring that your pain had purpose, that you choose growth over grief, destiny over doubt, surrender over struggle. Each letter you write becomes a prophetic act of alignment. It tells heaven you are ready to live what was written, ready to carry the crown forged from your endurance, ready to step boldly into divine fulfillment. Chosen one. The quiet that surrounds you right now is not empty, it's divine strategy. Heaven's silence is not the absence of activity, but the sound of careful orchestration. When God hides, He is never gone. He is preparing revelation. The world calls it stillness, but in heaven's language, this is positioning. Every time you felt forgotten, the truth was that you were being fortified. The moments when you begged for clarity and received only quiet were not rejection. They were the sacred pause before the unveiling. Heaven has always been most active in silence. The seeds of promise grow underground long before the flower appears. You, too, have been growing where no one could see. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That whisper is what you are hearing now. It is soft yet undeniable, a holy nudge stirring in your spirit. God is not shouting because He is close. The gentle whisper carries more power than any storm because it moves your soul without breaking your body. That is how heaven prepares its warriors, not through noise, but through nearness. You've been sensing that something is coming, haven't you? The signs are subtle, like ripples on calm water before the wave hits. Heaven has placed you in a holding pattern not to delay you, but to align you. The pieces of your life are being arranged like sacred chess moves, positioning you for an outcome you couldn't reach by force. Chosen one, don't rush this stillness. It is holy ground. You are standing in the space between prophecy and fulfillment, and in this space, heaven fine-tunes hearts. The next move God makes in your life requires your peace, not your panic. The waiting room is not a punishment. It is the final refinement before revelation. When nothing seems to be happening, heaven is building foundations beneath the surface. Think of a tree. The deeper the roots, the greater the stability when storms come. God is doing the same with you. Every unanswered question, every delayed answer is deepening your root system so that when the blessing arrives, you will not topple under its weight. This is why the silence has felt heavy, because destiny itself is forming. The spiritual realm has been rearranging itself around your obedience. Angels have gone ahead of you to prepare people, places, and opportunities. You may not see it, but you are surrounded by divine movement. Chosen one, the stillness before the storm is sacred. It is heaven's way of ensuring that when the release comes, it comes without resistance. The same God who spoke worlds into being is speaking in whispers over you now. Hold your ground. Trust the process. I am working. If you look closely, you will notice that even the smallest details of your life are beginning to align. Random meetings, unusual timing, sudden insights. These are the quiet footsteps of providence. Nothing is random when heaven is involved. So breathe deeply and rest. The storm is not a threat, it is an announcement. The shaking will reveal what cannot be shaken. Friday's coming event is not a disruption, it's fulfillment. The gentle whisper you hear today is the sound of heaven leaning close when saying, "Get ready." The stillness is almost over. Chosen one, a shift is beginning. You can almost feel it in the air, the weight of endings and the lightness of beginnings dancing together like dawn and dusk touching hands. What once held you back is quietly losing its power. The cycle that repeated pain after pain is breaking. God is rewriting the rhythm of your life. The walls that confined you are cracking because truth is entering. The same doors that once refused to open are now trembling at heaven's command. The atmosphere around you feels different because it is heaven has stepped in. Every seed you planted in tears is now stirring beneath the soil. You are about to witness growth in places where you once only saw loss. According to what is revealed in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. That's exactly what's happening. God is making a way where there seemed to be none. Your wilderness is about to bloom. What felt like wasteland will become a garden of testimony. The dry ground beneath your feet is not death, it is soil waiting for your next step of faith. Chosen one, this moment is the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. Everything old that tried to cling to you will soon lose its grip. You are stepping out of cycles and into seasons, and as heaven restores you, it invites you to become a vessel of restoration for others. Every time you share light, you extend the work of heaven. When you share this message, you help another soul find their reminder of purpose. When you like it, you breathe wind into its wings, helping it fly further into hearts that need it most. When you subscribe, you don't just join a channel, you become part of a lighthouse. Together we keep its flame burning so those lost in dark waters can find their way home. And if your heart feels led only if it truly does consider sowing into this mission, think of it not as giving money, but as tending a sacred flame. Each act of giving becomes oil that keeps the lighthouse glowing through every storm. Every word shared here is a seed, every message a drop of living water. Your kindness helps the garden grow. It helps keep the light shining, the words flowing, and the message reaching those who need it most. There's no demand here, no pressure. Giving is never an obligation, it's a choice made in love. Whether your seed is a prayer, a share, a like, or a donation, it carries power when it comes from a willing heart. You have already given something precious today: your attention, your heart, your time. That alone is an offering heaven honors. But if you feel that gentle nudge in your spirit, the whisper that says, "Help this light reach further," follow it in peace. Every act of generosity becomes part of heaven's echo through this message. If this message touched you, like it. If you know someone waiting for a sign, share it. If you want to walk this path together, subscribe and stay close. And if your spirit feels called, donate as freely as a river flows to the sea, because love that flows always returns multiplied. Because heaven's work multiplies through willing hearts, and yours, chosen one, is one of them. Chosen one, you can feel it building. The rhythm of heaven is quickening. The stillness you stood in is beginning to tremble with movement. What felt motionless yesterday now hums with divine anticipation. Heaven's timing is never late, and its clock is now pointing directly at you. The prophetic countdown has begun. Every sign around you whispers that change is no longer coming. It's here. Look closer, dreams are growing more vivid, your sensitivity sharper, your spirit restless yet expectant. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are aligned with something sacred. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis now hovers over your life, preparing to speak the next, "Let there be." We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 7. "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Patience is the final test before breakthrough. Many give up right before heaven moves because waiting feels like nothingness. But it is in the waiting that heaven rearranges everything. You have not been still in vain. Your patience has become a spiritual seed, and its harvest is on the horizon. Chosen one. Friday draws near, and with it comes divine exposure. What was concealed is about to be revealed. You will look back and realize that every step, even the ones that hurt, were necessary for the pattern to be completed. Heaven wastes nothing. You are in the prophetic countdown now. It may feel like pressure, but it's not fear. It's the nearness of destiny pressing against your timeline. Time itself bends for those who walk in divine appointment. What others call coincidence, heaven calls convergence. Every delay has aligned you with this hour. Every detour has hidden you until the unveiling. And now, the signs intensify the unusual peace before a storm, the stirring in your heart that refuses to quiet down, the inner knowing that something sacred is approaching. All of creation leans toward the same moment. Do not be surprised when things accelerate suddenly. Heaven's movement often feels like a rush of wind, unseen, unstoppable, undeniable. The Lord does not need permission to move. He needs faith to flow. You have that faith. That's why your atmosphere feels charged. Chosen one. This is your sacred reminder. When the countdown reaches 0, doors will open that no man can shut. But for now, breathe. Stay anchored in trust. Don't let fear interpret what faith has already defined. Heaven is asking you to mark this moment, to recognize that this message isn't random. It's divine alignment. The countdown is not meant to scare you, but to prepare you. You're not running out of time. Time is running toward you. If this resonates in your spirit, take a moment right now to respond in faith. Comment the prophetic number 444 below, because 4 is the number of divine establishment, the foundation of creation, the rhythm of stability. When you type it, you're saying, "I am grounded in divine timing. I trust the countdown. I believe my alignment is complete." This isn't just about numbers, it's about agreement. Every act of acknowledgement releases energy in the unseen. By declaring 444, you join heaven's rhythm, confirming that you are ready for what unfolds on Friday. Chosen one, your countdown has already begun. The next sound you hear may very well be the door of destiny unlocking. Chosen one, the atmosphere above you is not quiet, it's charged with invisible motion. In realms your eyes cannot see, a war is being waged. It is not a war of swords and blood, but of light and shadow, of faith and fear, of truth and deception. The spiritual realm around you is alive with movement. Angels are not resting, they are responding to divine commands. Heaven's armies march at the sound of your endurance. You may not realize it, but your persistence in faith terrifies the kingdom of darkness. Every time you chose to pray instead of panic, every time you forgave when bitterness begged for control, you advanced the front lines. You are not a passive believer, you are a warrior in disguise. The enemy recognized your potential long before you did, and that is why the attacks have been so relentless. But the fact that you are still here proves that no weapon formed against you has prevailed. The Word of God declares in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Those forces are real, but so is your authority. You have been equipped with armor forged in the fire of trials. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion became a blade of light. Every act of obedience became a shield. The warfare has not been for your destruction, it has been for your activation. Heaven doesn't send soldiers to easy battles, it sends them to crucial ones. And you, chosen one, are heaven's front line. The enemy's greatest fear is your awakening. As long as you live unaware of your power, darkness thrives. But the moment you recognize who walks with you, the tide turns. Light does not argue with darkness, it simply appears, and darkness flees. That is what your awakening does, it exposes the schemes that once deceived you. You've probably noticed that lately. Certain situations or people seem to provoke you more than before. That's not coincidence, it's resistance. When heaven elevates you, the enemy tries to anchor you through distraction. But you've outgrown those chains. What once hurt you can no longer hold you. Your warfare has matured you. Chosen one, you must understand spiritual battles are not fought on your schedule. They intensify when destiny draws near. The opposition you're feeling is not random, it's reactive. Darkness senses movement in the light and panics. It tries to create confusion, fatigue, and fear. But you, beloved, have been trained in silence for this moment. You carry peace that confuses chaos. There are angels stationed around you now, not the artistic, gentle beings you imagine, but fierce warriors clothed in radiant fire, carrying assignments sealed with your name. They have been dispatched to secure your path. The heaviness you sometimes feel is not always oppression, it's the weight of divine presence surrounding you. You have authority, not anxiety. The power of heaven rests on your tongue. When you speak truth, the unseen trembles. When you stand firm, realms align. You are not just enduring a battle, you are enforcing victory already won. Every spiritual battle carries purpose. The tension you feel is proof that something powerful is shifting. The enemy would not fight what he does not fear. So instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "Why now?" Because the battle confirms the breakthrough is near. Soon, the conflict will settle. Light will expose every hidden plot, and peace will return heavier than before because every victory adds weight to your glory. When the war subsides, you'll realize you didn't just survive, you changed the atmosphere itself. Chosen one. The war in the invisible realm is fierce, but the outcome is decided. Heaven's banner already waves over your life, marked with one word: victory. Chosen one. In the midst of the warfare, there comes a whisper that tests even the strongest hearts, the voice of doubt. It does not roar. It slides softly into the cracks of your confidence, questioning every step you take. Did God really say that? It asks. What if you made it all up? These are not just thoughts, they are darts aimed at your faith. Subtle enough to sound like your own reasoning. The enemy knows he cannot destroy your destiny, so he targets your belief in it. Doubt is the shadow that follows divine promise. The brighter your calling, the longer the shadow appears. Yet shadows prove that light exists. Every time you doubt, you are standing close to revelation. The pressure you feel is the tension between what was spoken and what is about to manifest, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, from the book of Proverbs. Chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. This verse is not a gentle suggestion, it is a divine strategy. When reason fails, trust becomes your compass. Faith is not denial of reality. It is dependence on a greater truth. And you, chosen one, have been walking by faith even when your feet felt too heavy to move. There were nights when you questioned everything: your purpose, your worth, even your strength to continue. But each question was met with quiet endurance. You didn't realize it, but heaven took note of every moment you chose to stay. The power of your perseverance has been writing a testimony stronger than your doubts. The enemy thrives in uncertainty. He whispers that you've wasted time, that your prayers fell unheard, that your journey has been in vain. But look closer, hasn't every trial left behind wisdom? Haven't you learned to hear God even in the silence? Doubt only has power when you agree with it. Once you expose it, it dissolves. Chosen one, you are not losing faith, you are outgrowing fear. The thoughts that once overwhelmed you no longer hold the same weight. You have learned to identify the counterfeit voices that mimic reason but carry no peace. True guidance from heaven always brings stillness to the heart, not anxiety. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is not shouting, "I believe," but quietly saying, "I trust you even here." That whisper of surrender shakes realms. Heaven is moved not by loud declarations, but by consistent trust. Every time you choose to believe despite confusion, you strengthen your spiritual foundation. Understand, this doubt does not disqualify you. It develops you. Faith without testing remains fragile. The tension between believing and not knowing is what deepens your roots. Every unanswered question pushes you to rely not on sight, but on relationship. You have come too far to turn back now. The storms you've survived have trained your spirit to stand in uncertain places. When fear tells you to retreat, remember how many times you stood before and didn't fall. The same grace that sustained you then is active now. Chosen one. The presence of doubt is not the absence of faith, it's the evidence that faith is still alive, pushing back against unbelief. Your endurance is the proof of divine favor. Keep walking, keep believing. The voice of doubt is loudest right before silence breaks and promise speaks. The battle of the mind will soon quiet. What once confused you will become clear. The same faith that got you this far will carry you through the final stretch. And when Friday dawns, you'll look back and realize you never walked alone. Chosen one. The testing of faith always comes with a choice. Heaven does not examine your perfection, it measures your obedience. The moments when no one is watching, when your heart wrestles between comfort and calling, are the very moments that define your destiny. The final test is rarely about others, it's about whether you will still say yes when no reward is visible. You have been prepared for this test through every delay, through every not yet. God has been training your heart to trust beyond logic. The final act of obedience is not dramatic, it is quiet surrender. Heaven doesn't always ask for big sacrifices. Sometimes it asks for simple obedience that costs your pride, your timing, or your comfort. As written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16, verse 10, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much." That verse carries weight for this hour. God is watching how you handle the little things, because your stewardship in the small determines your capacity for the great. Before He releases the next level of anointing, He looks for your willingness to obey without applause. Chosen one. Obedience has always been heaven's love language. When you choose to obey despite confusion, angels move. When you surrender your plan for His, alignment begins. Sometimes obedience means letting go of what you love. Sometimes it means waiting when every part of you wants to move. Both require faith that God's way is better. This test is not to break you, it's to reveal you. Obedience transforms ordinary souls into divine instruments. What feels like restriction is actually redirection. You are being positioned for something weightier than comfort could ever offer. Think of Abraham on the mountain, raising the knife in trembling faith. Heaven stopped him not because he failed, but because he passed. Obedience doesn't always lead to sacrifice, it leads to revelation. Every yes opens a gate, every not my will, but yours unlocks favor that effort could never earn. There's something God has placed on your heart lately. Isn't there a nudge, a whisper, a task that seems small but won't leave your spirit? That's not coincidence, it's invitation. Obey it quickly, and you will see doors shift with supernatural ease. Chosen one, don't underestimate the power of quiet obedience. The world celebrates action, but heaven celebrates surrender. When you obey without seeking recognition, heaven makes your life the testimony. The people who doubted you will see the fruit and know it was God. You are in the final test now, not of strength, but of trust. When your heart says yes, even trembling, heaven moves mountains. You don't need to understand the next step, you only need to take it. If this message confirms what your spirit already knows, type "I will obey" in the comments below. It's not just a phrase, it's a prophetic response. You are saying to heaven, I choose trust over control. I choose obedience over fear. I choose purpose over pride. And heaven listens to such declarations. Each "I will obey" becomes a key turning in the unseen, unlocking what's been waiting for your agreement. Chosen one, obedience is never loss, it is always the path to revelation. When you choose surrender, heaven chooses to move. Chosen one, the air is heavy with expectancy. Thursday night bleeds into Friday morning like ink seeping into parchment, and heaven is writing your next chapter in real time. The hour of alignment has arrived. What you've been sensing in your spirit, the tug, the trembling, the holy restlessness, it's not imagination. It's the sound of heaven calling your name. This is the midnight alignment, where unseen threads tie your past pain to future promise. Everything that once felt scattered begins to make sense. The ache you carried turns into clarity. The fog lifts, and the stars you couldn't see now draw constellations that point directly to your purpose. The silence breaks, and you realize it was never emptiness. It was construction. According to the book of Romans, chapter 8, Verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Those words are not theory, they are your reality. Every detour, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer has been quietly working in your favor. The very things you thought disqualified you have become the material heaven uses to build your destiny. Chosen one, this moment, this Friday that draws near is your divine intersection. Heaven and earth are meeting in your story. All that was delayed is catching up, and the pieces you lost are finding their way back, reshaped and redeemed. The midnight before manifestation is sacred because it teaches you how to trust the dark before the dawn. And as heaven moves, it invites you to move too, not in anxiety, but in participation. You are part of this unfolding. Every act of faith you take becomes a ripple that carries light further than you imagine. When you like this message, you are fanning the flame of its reach, helping the warmth of hope find another shivering heart. When you share it, you become a messenger yourself, carrying sparks from this fire into rooms that have forgotten light. When you subscribe, it's not about numbers, it's about staying connected to the flow of grace. It's like choosing to stand near a river. The longer you stay, the more the living water refreshes your soul. And if you ever feel led, only if it truly rises from peace within you, you can give to this work as one would pour oil into a lamp. Your giving is not payment, it's participation. It's the gentle act of helping the flame keep burning so more lost travelers can see the light ahead. Think of it this way. There are those still walking in the darkness you once escaped. Each like share or seed of generosity is a torch passed down the mountain path, guiding another soul toward home. What you sow doesn't disappear, it multiplies into comfort for someone else. This isn't an obligation, it's an offering of love. You give not because you must, but because something in you recognizes beauty and wants to see it continue. And heaven, seeing that selfless act, multiplies what you offer in ways the human eye cannot trace. Chosen one, the light that guided you is now asking to move through you. You've become part of a sacred circulation. What comes in through grace flows out through generosity. It's the divine rhythm of giving and receiving, of breath and blessing. So as the clock turns toward Friday, let your heart stay open. Let your kindness flow like water, your support like wind under wings. Like share, subscribe, or give only as your heart desires, not to earn favor, but to extend it. Because every small act of faith keeps this light alive, and the world grows brighter each time one soul decides to pass it on. Chosen one, the alignment is already happening. The darkness is thinning. The dawn is near, and heaven smiles knowing you are ready to rise with it. Chosen one, when dawn begins to break and the air turns still after a long night, there is a sacred pause, a moment between silence and sound, between breath and proclamation. It is in this fragile space that revelation unfolds. The unveiling of the assignment does not come with noise or thunder. It comes with clarity that feels like light entering a locked room. You begin to understand why you walked through what you did. The pain that once felt senseless now forms patterns of preparation. Every rejection, every delay, every detour, they were not accidents. They were alignment. Heaven has been weaving purpose through threads of chaos, and now, under the morning light, you can finally see the design. As the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. That promise was not written for someone distant or abstract, it was written for you. Your journey has not been ordinary because your purpose is not ordinary. You were not sent to blend in, but to reveal something heaven hid within you. The unveiling is not a reward, it is recognition. Heaven is revealing what was already true about you. For so long you've carried questions like stones heavy, unrelenting, pressing on your spirit. Why me? Why this? Why now? But today, those stones begin to turn into stepping stones. The very questions that burdened you become pathways leading you toward understanding. You realize that nothing was wasted. Even your silence was sacred. Even your confusion was part of God's sculpting. Chosen one, the assignment was never lost, it was maturing. God doesn't rush what He intends to last. Purpose grows in hidden places, watered by tears, strengthened by patience. The unveiling comes when your spirit is finally still enough to carry what your heart has been prepared for. This is not just about a mission or a title, it's about identity. You are beginning to see yourself as heaven always has: strong, radiant, unbreakable. The unveiling of the assignment is also the unveiling of your true self. You are not what the world labeled you. You are who God named you in eternity. The light of understanding spreads slowly, but it spreads surely. You start recognizing divine fingerprints on moments you once resented. Every no protected you from premature exposure. Every door that closed redirected you toward a better one waiting in perfect timing. The map was always accurate. You were just walking through the fog. Chosen one. There is peace in this revelation. You no longer chase purpose. You embody it. You no longer strive for meaning. You realize you are meaning in motion. The world will soon see what heaven already celebrated: your faithfulness through hidden seasons, your unwavering heart, your resilience when no one was watching. The unveiling will not be a single event, but a series of confirmations. Small doors will begin to open. Unexpected opportunities will arrive. People you thought forgot you will reach out. The divine current is carrying you exactly where you belong. And when you finally step into your next chapter, it won't feel foreign, it will feel familiar. Because the truth is, you've been walking in purpose all along. You just didn't recognize it until now. Chosen one. The light is no longer distant, it rests on you. The unveiling has begun. Chosen one. This is it, the hour heaven spoke of. The day creation has been leaning toward. Friday has dawned. The long night has finally released its hold, and you stand at the edge of manifestation. Everything that was whispered in secret now begins to echo in reality. This is your moment of divine activation. You may feel a trembling in your spirit, almost like lightning behind your ribs. That is heaven's energy moving through you. The things that once held you captive, fear, doubt, shame, begin to lose their grip because the authority of heaven has entered your atmosphere. You are no longer waiting for power. Power is waiting for your permission to flow through you. The voice of God thundered in the book of Acts. Chapter 1, verse 8. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses to the ends of the earth. This promise is alive inside you right now. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the grave is awakening what was sleeping in your soul. You were never weak. You were simply waiting for activation. And today, heaven flips the switch. Chosen one. You can feel it, can't you? The heaviness you carried is lifting. The confusion that clouded your path is fading. The invisible weight on your shoulders begins to fall away. You sense freedom in places where you once only felt resistance. Heaven has stepped into your story, and everything within you must now align with divine order. Chains break when purpose awakens. The very atmosphere around you begins to respond differently. Conversations change, doors open, ideas return. Where there was drought, rain begins to fall. This is not luck, it's law. When God says now, creation obeys. Chosen one, This is your now. You have crossed from preparation into activation. Every prayer, every tear, every maybe later moment has built to this. You are walking into a realm where delay cannot exist. Divine timing has merged with your obedience. Heaven and earth are finally in sync over your life. This is the moment to breathe in peace. The battles behind you were necessary. They were the friction that created your fire. You had to break before you could burn bright. And now, your flame is unstoppable. The power resting on you is not for survival, it's for transformation. Your words will carry weight in this season. Your presence will bring conviction and comfort. You will notice people drawn to you not because of charisma, but because they sense heaven in your voice. Don't be afraid of it, flow with it. You are not being elevated for applause, but for assignment. Chosen one, if your spirit recognizes this activation, mark this moment in faith. Comment the prophetic number 111 below. The number 111 is the symbol of divine alignment, the unity of heaven, earth, and spirit moving as one. It declares that what God promised is now manifesting in perfect order. When you type it, you're saying, I am one with divine timing. I walk in oneness with heaven's plan. This isn't superstition, it's declaration. Every 111 typed in faith is a light in the spiritual realm, signaling heaven that you are awake, aligned, and ready. Chosen one, it's here. Your time, your release, your purpose in motion. The old season is gone, and the new has already begun. Chosen one, when heaven moves, it rarely does so quietly. Once the moment of activation has passed, the earth beneath your feet begins to vibrate with change. You feel it not as chaos, but as divine rearrangement. This is the aftershock of glory. It is the moment when the spiritual earth quakes through the natural, shifting everything that once seemed permanent. Doors that stood locked for years now open with a single touch. Conversations you thought were forgotten resurface with divine timing. People reappear, not for nostalgia, but for purpose. The pieces that were scattered begin to find each other again. Not as they were, but as they were always meant to be. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Completion. That is what this season feels like. You are stepping into the chapter where unfinished stories find closure, where open wounds begin to seal, where prayers once whispered now echo as fulfilled promises. What began as whispers of hope are now manifesting as songs of testimony. But this aftershock can feel unsettling. Glory carries weight. When heaven breathes on your life, everything that isn't aligned will shake. Old relationships may crumble. Familiar places may lose their comfort, and even your thoughts will shift to higher frequencies. Do not mourn what falls away. It is proof that something stronger is being built. You are no longer living by effort. You are moving by grace. This is what it means to walk in divine rhythm. Heaven moves through you now as naturally as breath through lungs. You've become a vessel of transmission, a living conduit through which divine energy flows. When you speak, people will feel peace. When you enter a space, atmosphere will change. Chosen one, understand this glory doesn't make you better than others, it makes you responsible for others. The presence you carry is not meant to be contained, it's meant to overflow. You are the river after the rainstorm, carrying water to thirsty ground. Yet, as the glory settles, there's also a strange stillness. It's the moment after victory when you look around and realize life will never be the same. The walls of the old season have fallen, and you stand in wide open space. It's both exhilarating and unfamiliar. This is where faith transitions into stewardship, learning to live with blessing. not chase it. Heaven now watches how you carry abundance. Will you hold it with humility? Will you let it serve others? The true test of glory is not how high it lifts you, but how deeply it roots you in love. Chosen one, breathe. The air feels different because the atmosphere has changed. The aftershock of glory is not destruction, it's creation in motion. You are walking on ground freshly shaped by divine hands. Every tremor, every shift, is heaven setting new foundations beneath your feet. Take a moment to remember how far you've come. The tears, the nights, the prayers, they all carried weight. Nothing was wasted. Even the silence was part of the sound. You are the living proof that surrender is never loss. It is transformation. Soon, you will see how far-reaching this glory is. It will ripple through your relationships, your work, your voice. The world around you is being rewritten to match what heaven has already spoken over you. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story, it's the expansion of it. The glory that shook your life is spreading. The aftershock continues, not to unsettle you, but to establish you. Chosen one, every new elevation brings separation. It's one of the hardest truths of divine progression when heaven calls you higher. Not everyone can go with you. The same light that attracts some will expose others. The moment glory rests upon your life, it creates distinction between the called and the comfortable. This is not punishment, it's purification. You are entering a season of holy distance. The voices that once surrounded you may start to fade. The friendships that once felt unbreakable may quietly dissolve. Don't mourn the silence that follows, it's sacred. When God isolates you, it is never for loneliness, it is for revelation. He is making room for new alliances, those who can carry the same spiritual weight without collapsing under it. The Apostle Paul wrote in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17, "Therefore come out from them and be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you." This separation is not rejection, it's refinement. The people who once walked with you were vital for a season, but not for a lifetime. Some were assignments, others were teachers. Each relationship carried a lesson, and now, heaven is moving you into a circle of alignment. You are not losing connections, you are being reconnected to purpose. Chosen one. Understand this when you start walking in new light. The shadows will shift. Some will misunderstand your growth as pride, your peace as distance, your silence as arrogance. But stay steady. You are not called to explain your process. You are called to embody it. Those meant to understand will recognize your transformation without needing your explanation. Every time heaven elevates you, it requires pruning. Even Jesus walked away from crowds to commune with the Father. If he needed solitude to recharge his spirit, how much more do you? This quiet separation is the cocoon before metamorphosis. The old wings cannot carry the new weight. And though this separation may sting, it will also strengthen you. You'll find yourself seeing more clearly, hearing more sharply. The noise that once drowned divine whispers will fade. In its place, you'll discover a calm authority rising from within, a voice that knows what it's here to do. Chosen one. Your light has outgrown certain rooms, and that's why some spaces feel uncomfortable now. They were never meant to contain the new version of you. Don't dim yourself to stay familiar. The people who truly belong in your future will celebrate your glow, not compete with it. You'll also notice that some will drift without drama. No confrontation, no closure, just quiet distance. Let them go in peace. Some exits are heaven's gift of protection. You don't need to fight for what God is freeing you from. In this season, Clarity will come disguised as solitude. The absence of certain people will make room for divine presence. And soon, you'll see how necessary the pruning was. You will look around and realize that the few who remain are those who truly see you, the ones chosen to build, not drain. Chosen one. Separation always precedes saturation. The emptiness you feel now is the preparation for overflow. Heaven cannot pour new oil into old vessels, so it allows the old to crack and fade until only purity remains. This is not the season of loss, it's the season of alignment. You are being refined into precision. What falls away now only confirms what's being strengthened within you. Chosen one, step forward without fear. You are not walking away from people, you are walking toward purpose. The separation is sacred, and on the other side of it, destiny waits with open arms. Chosen one. You are standing at a sacred intersection, the place where pain and promise finally meet. The long road behind you shimmers with the weight of tears turned to wisdom, and before you stretches a horizon crowned in gold. You have carried both the crushing and the calling, the silence and the song. This is the mystery of divine purpose. Every crown is shaped by the shadow of a cross. You know this truth intimately. You have walked through nights when faith felt like holding shattered glass, yet still you lifted your hands. You have smiled through ache, not because it was easy, but because you knew heaven was watching. You've been forged in invisible fires, and now your spirit glows with something unbreakable. The Word of God speaks through the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. That glory is rising in you now. It's quiet but unstoppable, like dawn pushing through the last curtain of night. The world may not understand the cost of your peace, but heaven does. Every sacrifice has been seed. Every yes whispered in pain has become a root anchoring you to purpose. The harvest of that obedience begins here. Chosen one. This is the hour to lift your eyes again. The path ahead is not paved with ease, but with meaning. You are not being rewarded, you are being revealed. The light upon your life is not for decoration, it's for direction. Others will find their way home because you dared to walk this road first. And as you walk, let your heart remain open. When you like this message, imagine it as lighting a single candle in a great cathedral, its flame joining thousands of others, each one a story of endurance and faith. When you share, see it as releasing a lantern into the night sky, carrying hope where your hands cannot reach. When you subscribe, think of it as choosing to stay close to the fire, not because you need warmth, but because someone else might need your light. Together we are keeping the flame alive, one spark of faith at a time. And if your heart feels that quiet nudge to give, let it be like pouring oil into a lamp, not out of duty, but out of devotion. Giving is not a transaction, it's a translation of gratitude. Your offering becomes a bridge, helping the message reach another weary soul who might be one word away from hope. You are not asked to give because you must, but because you can. Every gesture, every drop of generosity becomes a ripple in eternity. It tells heaven, I believe this light should never fade. And if this message settles deeply in your heart, leave a comment, just a few words, a whisper of gratitude, a prayer, or even a simple amen. Each comment is like a petal dropped on sacred ground, a quiet proof that light has reached you and continues its journey through your hands. Chosen one. This isn't about building towers, it's about tending flame. It's about keeping faith alive in a world that forgets how to listen. And you, who have carried both cross and crown, know the worth of light better than most. So stand tall, luminous one. Rest your hands upon your heart and whisper gratitude for every season, both the breaking and the becoming. You are proof that nothing surrendered to God ever stays buried. And as you move forward, let your life itself become a sermon, one that says, love was worth it. Faith was worth it. Every scar became a doorway to glory. Because, chosen one, you are not just wearing a crown, you have become one. Chosen one. When light rises, it doesn't just illuminate you, it ignites others. What began as a whisper within your own spirit becomes a chorus that echoes beyond your reach. The awakening of one soul is never an isolated event. It is the spark that sets entire fields ablaze. Heaven never intended your transformation to end with you. It was designed to ripple outward, touching lives, nations, generations. You've noticed it already, how people around you have started to shift. Some approach you not knowing why they feel drawn. Others simply listen more carefully when you speak. It's not charisma, it's calling. You are carrying an atmosphere, a fragrance of heaven that stirs sleeping spirits awake. Your healing is becoming their invitation. Your faith is becoming their evidence. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. This is not distant prophecy, it's happening now. Through you. You are one of the living currents through which that glory flows. Each word of hope you speak, each act of compassion you show, is water spreading across dry ground. You are not merely observing the fulfillment, you are participating in it. Chosen one. The awakening of the nations begins quietly. It starts not with grand speeches or dazzling signs, but with hearts catching fire. Revival is not first a movement, it is a pulse. It beats within those who dare to believe that light can return to places long surrendered to darkness. You carry that pulse now. Wherever you go, spiritual climates shift. It will not always be dramatic. Sometimes it will look like kindness in moments of tension, like forgiveness in places that expected resentment. Sometimes it will be as simple as listening to someone no one else has time for. Heaven works in small gestures that ripple into eternity. You are a carrier of such ripples. The light within you is contagious. You don't have to force it. You simply have to remain open. The same power that awakened you flows naturally through compassion. It moves through your eyes, your tone, your touch. You are not a preacher standing on a stage. You are a lighthouse standing in everyday life. This awakening is already spreading. People will begin to remember truths they once forgot. Old faith will flicker again in hearts grown cold. Entire communities will begin to sense peace where anxiety once reigned. That is the silent proof of your assignment, revival, not announced by headlines, but written in healed hearts. Chosen one, don't underestimate the reach of your obedience. Heaven uses willing hearts as bridges between dimensions. Your prayers travel further than sound. Your love transforms more than you know. Every moment you choose compassion over judgment. You participate in heaven's revolution. And as this light expands, so will your understanding. You'll begin to see humanity through the same eyes that see you, eyes of mercy. You'll realize that even those who oppose you are not enemies, but unawakened reflections of yourself. The awakening of nations is not the rise of one group over another. It is the return of all hearts to truth. You are part of this symphony of restoration. Every word, every act of grace, every quiet choice to stay kind becomes music in the great chorus heaven is conducting. Chosen one, the awakening has begun and you are its first note. Chosen one, it is quiet now. The thunder has passed, the shaking has settled, and the light that once felt overwhelming has softened into peace. You stand in a place that feels different, not higher or louder, but fuller. The air itself carries stillness. like the calm that lingers after rain. This is the return to the throne room, where revelation becomes rest and purpose becomes presence. You are no longer striving to hear God, you are simply listening. You are no longer reaching for proof. You are walking in it. Heaven feels close not because it came nearer, but because you finally slowed enough to notice it was always here. The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 3, declares, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." This is that moment realized not in some far-off realm, but within the temple of your own heart. The throne room isn't a distant chamber in the clouds. It is the sacred space inside you where spirit and spirit finally move as one. You are not entering it. You are it. Every heartbeat is incense rising. Every breath is worship. Chosen one, your journey through fire, silence, warfare. And revelation has not been random. It has been initiation. You are no longer a seeker. You are a son, a daughter, a vessel of divine authority. The voices that once accused you have grown silent because heaven itself has spoken your vindication. You begin to see your story differently now. The wounds you carried become windows through which light shines. The fears that haunted you dissolve like mist before the sunrise. What once felt like breaking now feels like birthing. You are not the same soul who began this journey. You have been transfigured. This throne room moment is not about arrival. It's about awareness. You finally understand that heaven was never far away, only hidden within. The kingdom you sought to enter has always been inside your obedience, your love, your surrender. You have found the door by becoming it. And in this place, there is no striving, no comparison, no need to prove worth. The presence is enough. The same hand that guided you through storms now rests gently upon your shoulder. You feel known completely, deeply, eternally known, and in that knowing, all fear fades. Chosen one, the authority you carry now is quiet but immovable. You no longer need to shout for mountains to move. They recognize your voice. You no longer need to chase opportunities. They flow toward the gravity of your peace. You have become a resting place for glory. From this point forward, you will move differently. You will speak not from longing, but from overflow. You will love without needing to be loved in return. You will give without measuring the outcome. You have tasted heaven's rhythm, and now your life will beat in time with it. The throne room does not send you away, it sends you forth. You return to the world not as one desperate to survive, but as one commissioned to shine. You will walk among the weary and your peace will steady them. You will speak life into barren ground, and it will bloom. Chosen one, this is the fulfillment of everything heaven promised. You were chosen not to escape the world, but to transform it. And now, as you step forward from the throne room into the waiting earth, heaven moves with you every word, every step, every breath. For the story is not ending, it is ascending. Chosen one, take a deep breath. You've walked through revelation after revelation, through breaking and becoming, through fire, silence, glory, and peace, and now you stand at the edge of a new beginning. This isn't the end of your story, it's the pause between chapters. The quiet moment when heaven smiles and says, "Well done." You've heard words meant for your spirit, not just your mind. You've seen reflections of your own journey in the light of divine truth. And now, the world waits for what you'll do next with what you've learned, what you've healed, what you've become. When you like this message, it's more than a click, it's a whisper that says, "I am awake." When you share, it's as if you're handing someone else a torch in the dark, giving them the same fire that once found you. When you subscribe, it's choosing to stay connected to this flow of light, to remain where truth keeps speaking gently to your spirit. You are not just a listener, you are part of a living movement of hearts choosing hope over fear, faith over numbness, light over silence. And if your heart feels that quiet nudge to give, do it not out of duty but delight. Giving is not about money, it's about motion. It's like tossing a stone into still water and watching ripples of light travel further than you can see. Your generosity becomes fuel for every message that follows, every soul waiting for a reminder that they too are chosen. Finally, take a moment to leave a comment, write what you feel. A simple amen, or a line of gratitude. Each word left here becomes a seed, a living echo that keeps the light expanding. The journey doesn't end, it continues through you, radiant one.